You hurt me. I got completely attacked for the 8,000th time by this group. I have to go. I have to go. Well, it's good you got that out. Clearly, you and Angie have had a field day living way apart. Continue and have fun. I'll give you
Don't
free reign to talk
out in there. Don't you dare.
I'm not picking up. Oh my God. You know what she walks when it gets tough? It's like, thank you, Lord.
She took them bangs with her. This is Audrey Hepburn, not the Flintstones.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 5, episode 10. And this episode starts off with another promo that they did. They've been doing a lot of promos this season with editing. But yeah, this promo is called Mary Go Lightly. And it shows her she's preparing for a party she's throwing. It's actually a breakfast. It's a breakfast at Tiffany's themed meal. And she's planning it with the servers and, you know, checking things out. They have it looking sort of like a soap opera, sort of. You know how they do for promos. So then it says breakfast at Mary's. So now we see Whitney. She's playing soccer with her son. And then they cut to Angie. She's at a place called Phoenix Vine Plants and Pots with her daughter Electra. And they're talking and doing some shopping. So the first official scene is Lisa. And she's at Kimosabi. I had to look at the name. Kimosabi. She's buying some turquoise jewelry. So now Heather comes to meet her. When Heather arrives, she says that she thought that they were going to be having sushi because Kimosabi sounds like a sushi place. And she walks in and she sees like a bunch of hats. So they greet her. Lisa buys some jewelry. Then the guy asks them if they want to go to the bar. So they're like, sure. So he takes them in. It's like a secret passageway and a secret room. He does something and then the door opens. And they walk in and it's a secret bar. So when they walk in, Lisa's admiring the woman's hat. And the woman lets her know that it has a raccoon penis on it. So Lisa's like, really? Let me see. And she shows her. And Lisa's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know a raccoon had a penis. I didn't want to know that. And I definitely didn't want to see it on a hat. So they order their drinks and they get to talking. So now Lisa catches Heather up and tells her about Bronwyn's version of how things played out at her house. And she lets her know that Bronwyn let her know that she invited her over to try and fix things, but she said Heather came over confrontational and was calling her names. And that when Heather left, she was crying. But then she also tells Heather how Bronwyn got upset when she FaceTime called her when they were on the trip. And she was like, she don't understand, you know, because Bronwyn was saying how she really wanted Heather to come on the trip. But she ain't understand why she got so upset and had such a, like, angry reaction to when Lisa FaceTime Heather. So Heather's like, what is it now? Did you really want me to be there or what? Because if you wanted me to be there, why would you get so mad? Because you're FaceTiming me. And Heather's like, see, this is what I mean with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now they cut the scene, right? Well, actually, they discussed that, but Lisa tells Heather about how Todd. She was saying how Bronwyn, it was weird to her too that Bronwyn was saying how she wanted her to be there, but at the same time, she got mad when she FaceTimed her while they was on a trip. But then she also tells her about how Todd told John to tell her either she basically get it together or they got to go. And Heather's gagging. She's like, what? So what, they was going to send you home? And she's like, yeah. And Heather's just like, So now we cut to Bronwyn's house. She's going out back to talk to Todd. And I don't know what they was eating. They was eating some type of pastry or snack, or maybe it was cookies. And it looked like she had maybe a chocolate milk or something. I don't know. But anyway, they're talking. So he's letting her know, like, he's never seen her act the way she was acting on that trip. And he was pretty much scolding her. He was telling her, like, you know, you was acting all belligerent and getting loud and yelling. And, you know, that was very unbecoming of you. So Bronwyn is, you know, hurt by this. And she's like, damn, like, I'm hurt by this, Todd, because, you know, I don't know how to deal with these ladies because you've seen it. It's all bitch and, like, yelling and screaming. And Todd is like, well, that's not true. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to get down in the gutter with them like that. You know, he didn't say that word, but he did say, I feel like they're dragging you down into the sewer and I don't want you to go down there with them. So now you see Bronwyn in her confessional, and she's like, Todd's opinion means a lot to me. Then she says, actually, Todd's opinion might mean everything to her. And she doesn't like for him to look at her in this way and to criticize her in this way. So, you know, she's taking it hard. It's hard on her. So now back at Chemo, so he's telling her that he thinks she needs to just take a step back from the ladies if she can't be around them. Because he said friends are not supposed to bring out the worst in you. And I do agree with that, Todd. You got a point there, Mr. Todd, okay? But Todd, yeah, Todd is something else. I mean, he be sitting there with his arms crossed like with the mean mug. But, you know, he's an older man. He's an old man, so Todd be looking like he's ready for a nap, okay? So now, back at Chemo Sabi, Lisa is letting Heather know that, you know, she wants, hoping that her and Bronwyn can work things out and get past this. And Heather's like, oh, you know, she's protective of her friend group and, you know, the normal, I'm just like this when new people come around. And she basically doesn't really feel like she can trust Bronwyn. Moving on. Next scene, we go to Angie's house, and she's there with her dog. I wrote the name down because they showed it. Celia, her dog with the pink ears and the pink paws. So now, her father comes by. So when she lets him in, she's like, hey, welcome to your favorite restaurant. And she's like, you're like my favorite customer, my best customer. So they sit down to eat, and, you know, and they start to talking, and she's like, you know, he asks her where Sean was at, and she lets him know that Sean took Electra horseback riding lesson. So now she says, you know I had to learn how to cook. I learned from you. And then she was like, you know, Dad, because just like you went from work and then you came home to cook for 7 kids. So then she confirmed that it was 6 siblings she had, which is 7, which I thought it was 7 of them. But yeah, that's how many I counted. So it was 7 of them. So yeah, so now, you know, her dad is like, you know, that's what I had to do to take care of mine. But, you know, nowadays kids are spoiled. And she was like, you know, because we don't want them to go through the hustle we went through. So now they can do, you know, go to horseback riding lessons and things of that nature. So now they get to talking some more. So she brings up how she tries to be the perfect mom because her mom wasn't really there. Her mom, she said, you know, drowned, you know, hid in the bottle. And she didn't really take on her responsibilities the way she should have. And Angie feels bitter about that. She still kind of like feels the way about that. She says that she tries to be the perfect mom because of that. And she expresses these feelings to her father. And now she also lets us know that the other day she was detangling Electra's necklaces, and she came across a necklace that one of her friends gave to Electra that reminded her of her mom. And when she saw it, like, she had no emotion. So she starts to talk to her dad. She says also that she doesn't really talk to Electra about her mom like that and doesn't share too much, I guess, about the issues. Because she doesn't want to, I guess, you know, disrespect her memory. But she, you know, feels a way about it. So she breaks down and starts crying. And her dad consoles her. And, you know, she's pretty much says she's still kind of angry at her mom that she wasn't there. But she also wants to get past that. She says that she was angry, but she's trying to find forgiveness. Because after having Electra, she realized how hard it was to have a kid. And it's like her mom had 7, so she, you know, kind of wants to come to a place of forgiveness. So that was kind of a deep scene. We're getting to know a lot more about Angie. And Angie, you are one of my faves this season, I will say. So now the next scene is Mary's breakfast at Tiffany's event. Okay? So the greeters are all there. She has guys greeting them to escort the girls in when they first get there. The first one to arrive is Bronwyn. And mind you, the guys all have on like Tiffany blue shirts with their suits and stuff. It's real cute. It's given very... I never saw breakfast at Tiffany's, but I'm assuming that's what it was given. So now, Bronwyn arrives first, and she has bangs with a pony. Some clip-in bangs that she said she ordered online. And she has like on a yellow dress. And she's actually right on time. She's the first one there. And she says that she's normally fashionably late, not disrespectfully late. But she likes to make an entrance. But she said because it was Mary's event and she don't want to piss Mary off, she got there right on time. And it happened to be a little too early because Mary wasn't even downstairs yet. So she was basically sitting there with the server. She got her drink and she was sitting there looking mad awkward for a minute. So the next one to arrive was Meredith. And now Meredith arrives with a updo and some, I guess they were supposed to be bangs on her head. She had on a fur coat and a black dress. You couldn't really get into the details of the dress because of the coat. So now she comes and she greets Bronwyn, and Bronwyn even is like looking like, so she's like, they ain't gonna be any more clip-in bangs online if it's us. So then she's like, you know, Bronwyn is like, you know, I was going for the Aubrey Hepburn bangs. That's what she was famous for. And she's like, I don't know what kind of octopus Meredith got on her head. So then she was like, it was a choice. It's definitely a choice. And I ain't gonna lie, Meredith, her bangs looked at crazy. They looked at a mess. I don't know what that was on her head, honey. That's why when I said I guess they were bangs, but I really don't. I don't know what that was on her head. Okay. So they start chatting, getting small talk. So now Bronwyn lets her know that when they got back from Palm Springs, that you know she got lectured by Todd about her behavior by the pool, in the pool with Lisa that day. So Meredith is like, you know, she's letting Meredith know her husband doesn't want her yelling and doing all that. And Meredith is like, I can relate because, you know, I'm not really wired to be yelling and screaming. But then when she said that, they show a flashback of her when she was like, you can leave. So now, Mary makes her entrance. And Mary has on a black long sleeve dress with, you know, a lot of accessories. And she doesn't have bangs. She just has a regular middle part bust down sew-in. Like, it looked good, though. She looked good. She did. So she came out to greet the ladies. And she said, she lets us know that when she had a party, she wanted to see the ladies' style because she was like, you know, when she thinks about style, she thinks about Aubrey Hepburn. She loved Aubrey Hepburn. She had a lot of style. And she says that, I wrote the quote. She says, anybody can buy fashion, but you can't buy style. Style is in your DNA. So now Lisa arrives and she's wearing a blue jumpsuit. And Mary is gagging when she come in because this happens to be the same blue jumpsuit Mary had wore previously. So now you see Lisa in her confessional because Mary is looking like, and Lisa's like, Mary probably bought it off the rack at Bergdorf, but I had it first. I saw it first because she said she was in the front row of Fashion Week of the fashion show when that dress was first presented. So she saw it first. So now Whitney arrives and she has on a black off-the-shoulder strap dress, strap dress with strapless hair. And she had on the black lace gloves. It was the classic Aubrey Hepburn look. But instead, she said that she kind of put her own spin on it. Instead of doing bangs, she just put a headband on. She looked cute. She looked cute. So now she said that she put her own spin on it. And she was like, because the last thing I wanted to do was look like Meredith. So why is the girls coming for Meredith? They coming for Meredith. And sorry, at this point on, for the rest of this episode, the girls are going to chew her up and spit her out. And have that girl running out ecstatic. So now, Angie arrives and she has on a sleeveless dress with exaggerated hips. Like they was real like pointy, exaggerated. She looked good. And Whitney arrives and she had on like a creamish sweater with a long matching skirt. She looked cute too. And she had like some clips in her hair. She looked pretty. Everybody looked good for the most part. Yes. And also Angie had an updo actual too. So Angie and Meredith and Brown were the only ones who had like updos, and everybody else just Lisa had her hair out. Everybody else just had their hair out like regular. I mean, Whitney put a headband on and had to do some clips on her head. So anyway, and it were pretty clips too. So now Heather is greeting and giving all the ladies a kiss and a hug, and she goes right past Bronwyn. She skips right past Bronwyn, and Bronwyn noticed it, and Bronwyn was like, you know, wow, you would have thought I had anthrax or something the way she swerved right past me. So, yeah, she shaded her, but, you know, they not, you know, fucking with each other right now. So she swerved right around her. So even Mary clocked it because Mary was like, Whitney, Mary was like, Heather, you didn't give Bronwyn a kiss? And Heather was like, no. She's like, oh, she could have a blow ear kiss, and went like that. And Mary was just like, so now Mary calls everyone into the dining room area where they're going to have breakfast or whatever they're going to have, because it's called it's a breakfast at Tiffany's party, so I'm assuming it's breakfast, right? I don't know. Maybe they were just having dinner, but they called it breakfast. Who knows? Anyway, so now Angie is surprised to see a name tag for Brittany because they sit down. Everybody has their name tag, so where they're going to be sitting. And Angie is like surprised because she's like, you know, I see a name tag for Brittany. So Mary was like, yeah, I invited her because I wanted her to see I wasn't poor. So everybody starts laughing, and they show the flashback of when Brittany assumed Mary was poor because Mary was kind of making it seem like she was having a hard time as a kid. So anyway, they said it's hard to think you poor with these Versace plates and dishes. So then Angie decides to make a revelation that Abraham Lincoln at some dinner he had Versace china. So the ladies is like, huh? What? Like, it took me a minute to catch on, but then I'm really like, wait a minute. Versace. 1900s. Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what hundreds he was in, but I'm sure it wasn't in that same century. So even Heather was like, girl, like, they live like 100 years apart. What are you talking about? Versace wasn't around. So Angie like, oh, we could Google it. And the girls was looking like, girl, bye. Angie, I hope you have a better understanding of your Greek history more than you do of American history, because you are Greek, so let's just hope that's why you kind of confused. So now Brittany decides to arrive. Guess who decided to show up? Brittany. She comes in looking like she just came from work. Like she had on like a regular button-up shirt, a regular blouse, a blouse, honey. And some shit, I was like, so they looking at, even so, I don't know if it was Bronwyn or Whitney. Somebody was like, wait a minute, like, did you give her the same invitation? And Mary was like, yeah, she had the same invitation. So Brittany's like, oh, sorry, I'm late. You know, the best got here last. So everybody like, okay, girl, whatever. Sit down, have a seat. So now Mary decides to give a cheers and saying, you know, she's happy everybody's there. And Heather takes the opportunity to take a dig at Bronwyn. She's like, you know, Heather, Mary, I appreciate you inviting everybody here and including everybody, you know, because, you know, that's not what happened last week in Palm Springs. So everybody already know where this is going. So everybody just like, let me go check on my dog. Like, let me make sure my husband watered the plants. So now, Mary lets everybody know that Meredith supplied the caviar, and they're like, thank you, Meredith. And now Brittany is like, hey, it looks like everybody has a tan, all of y'all, except for you, Heather. So she's like, well, who all went on this trip? And she's like, oh, the 5 of y'all with y'all husbands. So now Brittany, she says she feels excluded. You know what I'm saying? She's like, y'all don't invite me nowhere. Nobody called me to check up on me. Mary the only one that called me. So she also lets Angie know that she was offended about her bringing wine to her Bible study meeting. And she's like going off like, why would you bring wine to a Bible study thing? That's just off. So as she's going off, Whitney is like, Brittany, I don't understand what's the big deal about her bringing wine when you drinking champagne right now. You know what I'm saying? You sitting here drinking champagne like you drink. So she's like, yeah, but this is for me. I would have rather had, gave it to me privately or at another occasion or something. So now Angie is over it. Angie is like, girl, sorry, you're doing 3 guys and you drink and you're claiming to be some total warbag. Child, when I tell you the way I laughed, I cackled. I think I laughed so hard and for so long. I laughed for so loud and so long that I had to pause it because I would have missed the whole rest of the conversation because I was laughing for so long and so loud. I rewinded it because she was just like, sorry, girl. You're doing 3 guys, you drink, and you're claiming to be like some total Mormon. Girl, bye. Like, so now Brittany is like, I'm not doing 3 guys. And everybody's gagging like, girl. So you see Mary in her confessional. She's like, I don't know how many guys she's doing, but I know one thing. Why does Jared keep jumping in my DM? And then they showed the screenshots of him and her DM, calling her a fine woman and all this, and saying she looks exquisite and he knows a fine. Oh, honey, he was all up on her DM trying to get out. And I'm like, ooh, Brittany. So Whitney asks Brittany, like, are you mad that she bought the wine or are you mad that she exposed that you drink? So basically, Brittany was like, I would have rather her not gave it to me at that time. So basically, you didn't want them to know you drink. You was mad that she gave you the wine in front of your church group because you're not supposed to be drinking. And she's like, you can relate. And Heather's like, yeah, I can relate. And Heather lets us know in her confessional that in the Mormon religion, you're not supposed to drink ever. Not after celebrations, birthdays, nothing. You're not supposed to drink no liquor, no alcohol ever. And she was like, unless you subscribe to the Mormon Church 2.0, which is where I think Lisa is currently holding meetings. And that was funny. Heather, I can't stand you, but you do bring that comedic relief sometimes. So that's why I can barely tolerate you as much as I can, but it's becoming real hard. You are really insufferable to watch, okay? So now Lisa gets in it, and Lisa's like, Bronwyn, I ain't think you wanted me to call you and check up on you because, I figured you ain't want to come on this trip anyway because of the comments you've been making about Bronwyn and her marriage. And Mary is like, yeah, you can't really talk about nobody's husband like that. So Bronwyn is like, you did make remarks about my husband. You were very disrespectful. You was like how I'm not attracted to him. He's disgusting and how I'm only with him for money. And, you was saying something to the effect of how all the ladies was saying that. And Brittany was like, no, I was saying all the ladies is thinking it and I'm the only one saying it. So Lisa, like, I never thought that. I ain't never think that. So now Heather decides to jump in and be like, so why y'all don't have a prenup? Heather, this is what I was talking about, why you are insufferable. Because you asked her about the prenup, like, episodes ago in the beginning of the season. You were gagging about that. And for some reason, this really bothers you. I get it. It's not wise to not sign a prenup. But some people don't. And I don't get why you can't understand that. And it's like you are so bothered by this. You are so baffled by this. And it's like you really sitting here pressing this woman about her marriage and her prenup, like questioning her why she don't have one. Basically assuming that she's trying to want to take his money from him. And Bronwyn is like, Heather, if you want to go there with you keep going there with this prenup thing, and you're not going to like it or whatever. And Heather is basically going back and forth with her about her prenup and her marriage. So Bronwyn points out in her confessional, like, all Heather is concerned with is when me and my husband break up, how much I'm going to get. It's like, who's the real gold digger? Good question, Bronwyn. So now, Lisa, Bronwyn said, like, you've been making a lot of comments and assuming things when it comes to my husband or whatever. And now Heather's like, several times, please. And she made some little remark that, I don't remember what she said, something about some Shakespearean type comment. And she's like, I know 3 things about your husband. One is, y'all don't have a prenup. 2, he collects Starbucks mugs, because when she came and visited Bronwyn for that sit down, that's when Bronwyn let her know, because she saw all the Starbucks mugs around. And she said, and 3, I know he's an asshole that be trying to send people home early on trips. So obviously, Bronwyn is like, oh, nice, Lisa, basically, because she knows she got that from Lisa. So now Mary is coming in and she's trying to defend Bronwyn. She's like, Heather, Bronwyn really wants to make things right with you. If you would just hear her out and give her a chance. And then Bronwyn decides to claim that she actually bought Heather a ticket for Palm Springs. And Heather is like, how you get my information about me a ticket? So Bronwyn was like, I called somebody else and I got your name and your date of birth. And Heather was like, who did you call? Because none of these ladies know my date of birth, because I lie to all of them and told them all a different birthday. Here we go, Heather. All right, see, I'm sorry, Heather. We're going to do this. So this is the episode where we do this. All right, you just admitted that you are a liar. We all knew this about you, but now you're at least acknowledging it and coming to terms with it. Like, you lied about the black eye. Mary already done told you, everywhere you go, you leave a trail of lies. You are a liar, Heather. You're lying about your birthday now. Like, I don't know what's going on with you, Heather. Like, you was my fave. Like, you was a fave for the first 2 seasons. And then after that, you just became worse and worse. It started in season 3 with the whole black eye gate and you making a lie to defend Jen because you was so scared of her that you didn't want to tell that she gave you a black eye. To be honest with you, a lot of the fans have not forgiven you for that. I haven't forgiven you for that. The next season, season 4, we tolerated you because you didn't really have a main storyline. So it was all about Monica and Lisa and Meredith. So it was like you was just a side thought last season. So you didn't, like, I was kind of, when you came back, I still haven't gotten over the black eye thing, but it was like, all right, you wasn't doing too much last season, and then at the end of the season, you had your little breakthrough when you put Monica on blast and exposed her and did your little speech or whatever, but I really think that some of the fans got to your head, and you start to feel like you like the face of the show, and you have become really insufferable to watch. First of all, you are the biggest pick-me I've ever seen. You try to be up under whoever you think is cool, and you will be loyal to a point where you would defend somebody giving you a black eye. You are pathetic, Heather. I'm so sick of you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. So, now they're talking. I lost where I was at. Oh, girl, see what Heather does to me? So now, Lisa complains about flying coach. She's like, if I would have known that, I would have got my own tickets. And then she also claims that Angie was also mad about it. And Angie's trying to act like she wasn't mad. And Angie like, no, I wasn't. And Lisa was like, yes, she was, girl. You was going off having a tantrum. And I believe she was. She probably was. So Bronwyn is obviously annoyed that they're complaining about the flight and the coach seat. And, and so now Heather asks her, if you feel that way, then why did you put yourself and your husband on first class and everybody else on coach? And Bronwyn gave a simple answer. Because it was my goddamn credit card. And shut it all down. They all looked like, they was gagging like... But at this, what can you say? That's it. She ate that. It was no more. The discussion was over. End of the conversation, okay? So now, Bronwyn realizes that Heather is just never going to get over whatever issue she has with her. She said, she feels like She told Heather, she said, I feel like no matter what, if I try to fix things with you and you tell me what the problem is and I try to fix it, you're going to come up with another problem and it's going to always be a problem. And that's exactly what it's given. Heather is just miserable. So now, Bronwyn, so Whitney is trying to defend Bronwyn at this moment. And Whitney is like, Heather, I understand where you're coming from because I still have PTSD from having people come into the friend group and, try to hurt us, but you're not really giving this girl a chance. It's like you shut down on her. And that's when Heather shut Whitney down and was like, oh, she started talking over her and was like, I know I'm being real abrasive right now, Whitney, because I'm hurt. So basically, there you go. She admits she was hurt, that she didn't get invited. She felt excluded. She felt left out. She's like, she feels basically like she's the face of the show and she wasn't invited. She didn't say that, but that's what it was given, just so entitled. So now, Bronwyn tells her, Heather, like, I really am still open to having a conversation. Like, I want to fix this. So now Heather is like, I just want you to understand that when it comes to these girls, I'm very overprotective, meaning like the OGs, because she felt like they have this bond ever since Monica infiltrated their group and they exposed her. But girl, that's your fault for being so dumb. You let her come in, she played y'all. She was trolling y'all for years, and then she finally came around and got into the group, and y'all didn't find out until she already infiltrated y'all. Well done, Monica. So now they make up and they finally say, let's not say they make up. They both decide to clean slate and try to start over and fix this. So they're like, cheers. So everybody's cheering. They're happy. And here go Lisa. Yay, no more side eyes at me to Bronwyn. Girl, Lisa, we gonna always give you a side eye, okay? With your mediocre tequila. Todd, why you make me say that, Todd? So now Brittany sees everybody's all happy and making up. So I guess she wanted a moment. So she didn't have enough attention. The attention wasn't on her no more. So now she jumps up like, what about me? What about me? So the girls is looking like, girl, if you don't sit down, like, Brittany, sit down, please. Mary like, oh, child, oh, Lord. So Brittany is like, I want to have a sit down. I want to work and have a talk and, this and that. So Mary is like, well, we sitting down and you have the floor. Say what you got to say. Speak your mind. So they're like, why don't you start off with giving Bronwyn an apology? So Brittany apologizes to Bronwyn about the things she said about her husband. And Bronwyn is like, are you apologizing because you mean it or because they told you to? And she's like, no, I mean it. I want to apologize. So Bronwyn accepts the apology. And now Mary starts to motivate the ladies, and she's saying how she thinks they should start inviting Brittany around more and not exclude her, and give her a new entrance into the group. So now this is when Angie decides that she wanted to, confront Meredith about the whole Palm Springs thing that happened at dinner when Meredith brought up the situation with Sean's podcast interview, saying, so Meredith was like, I just feel like y'all put my child name in it and I didn't appreciate that. So Angie is basically doubling down and defending her husband. And she's like, Angie, when we had that, conversation. So before all that happened, when she first brought it up and said, I don't like what went down in Palm Springs, that's what she made some type of veiled threat. She was like, I don't want to go into the past, Angie, but if you want to go into the past, we can. It's not going to be pretty for anybody. So she always kind of makes, so the girls is all looking like, because she always kind of makes little veiled threats like that. Just like last season when she was like, if you want to talk about husbands, we can talk about husbands. You don't want to go there. And it's like she always makes a statement that kind of insinuates that she knows something. So it's like, Angie's looking like, girl, what are you saying? Is that a threat? And she's like, no, it's not a threat. I'm just saying I don't want to go into the past. So Angie's like, so I don't understand. So why are you saying if we're going to go into the past, it's not going to be pretty? That sounds like a threat. And Meredith's like, I'm telling you, I don't want to go into the past. So And even Whitney is like, but girl, when you said it, it came off as a threat. And Angie is like, yeah, that's the same thing you did when you was like, if you want to talk about husbands, we can go there. It comes off like a threat. And then Angie said, and when you made that comment, you was trying to insinuate something about my husband's sexuality. And then when you saw the backlash you got and the fans was dragging you online, then you tried to backwalk it and, backpedal and say, oh, I would never question nobody's sexuality because my son is gay. And Angie was like, we got a lot of support from the LGBTQ community. They didn't like what you did. And I feel like now you trying to, and that's how they feel. Yeah, you tried, once you saw the backlash you was getting, you try to bring your son into it. So you used your son as a pawn, not them. They just pointed that out. So now Meredith decides to pull out her phone and start playing clips of the interview. So as she's playing the interview, she's holding her phone and she's holding it like this, and it is kind of like in Whitney's face. So Whitney grabs the phone. I don't know why Whitney grabbed the phone in the first place, because it's like, girl, why are you grabbing her phone for? And it looked like when Whitney grabbed it, to me, it was given like, girl, let me see this phone. Let me check this out. Make sure this is real. So Meredith jumps up and, give me my phone. What are you doing? Don't grab my phone. She go crazy. She comes around the table and snatches the phone back from Whitney. And Whitney is like, wait, I'm trying to turn it up. And Meredith is like, don't take my phone out my hand. And Whitney was like, well, then don't put it in my face. So then they show Whitney in her confessional, and she's mocking Meredith, but she has on this little short wig with the bangs like Meredith. And she's like, my phone, how dare you? I'm like, these girls, you know what, you Salt Lake City girls, you ladies are a mess. I can't with y'all. I cannot do this. So now, Angie and Meredith are still going back and forth, and they just going back and forth. Angie's calling her miserable. Meredith is calling her depressed. So I don't know what they calling each other name. They're going back and forth. And Mary is trying to calm them down. And Mary is like, yo, chill. And she's like, Angie, Meredith, chill. So she keeps trying to calm them down, but they is going at it. Angie jumps up out her seat. They going back and forth. And Mary is like, Angie. So I guess Angie calmed down for a minute. So she's trying to get Meredith to calm down, and Meredith's still going. So Mary like, Meredith, if you're not going to listen to me, you can leave my house. Child, why did she say that? Because Meredith grabbed her fur coat and got her octopus on her head together and started to get ready to go, honey. So as she's getting ready to go, Mary is like, come on, Meredith, you know I'm not really kicking you out of my house. I'm just trying to get control of the situation because y'all like out of control right now. Meredith was like, no, that's okay. You said bye. I'm leaving. So Mary is really trying to get her to stay. Mary like, come on, Meredith, don't do me like this. You know how me and you do. You know I'm not going to ever kick you out of my house. And Meredith was like, I'm sorry, but, I'm going. And Mary like, you really so Meredith is like, I love you. And Mary is like, no, you don't. If you really love me, you wouldn't be leaving. Meredith is like, you hurt me. So then she's like, when I had to sit here and get attacked by these ladies for the 18th. She turned it to Karen, honey. She's like, I got attacked by these ladies for the 18,000th time. So she starts walking, storming off. Mary's still calling her back. So as she's walking off, Angie was like, glad she got that off. And Meredith turned around and she's like, Mary, go ahead. You and Angie, go ahead and have fun. Ripping me a new one. Go ahead. And she's leaving. And the ladies is looking like. And as she's leaving, Meredith says as she's leaving, Mary says to the confessional, yes, thank you, Lord. She took them bangs with her. Thank you, Lord. She took them bangs with her. She was like, this is Orby Hepburn, not the Flintstone. When I tell you, this episode had me laughing so hard. These ladies of Salt Lake City are a mess, a hot mess. This episode was really good. Honestly, Salt Lake City, bravo. Y'all doing a great job. There has not been one bad episode yet all season. Bravo to y'all. It's Sunday, so y'all see I'm in cool mode, chill out mode. I just wanted to get this video done because at 8 o'clock, Potomac come on. And then after that is the premiere of Married to Medicine. So I want to watch both of those tonight so I can do my review of Potomac tomorrow. I want to review Married to Medicine, but it's so many Housewives on right now. It's just too much. And I'm just starting this and I'm getting the hang of it. And it's just, y'all can see I barely could come on time with these videos when I was doing one. And now it's like 5 Housewives on right now. Well, no, Orange County just ended because they had their last part of their reunion last Thursday. But it's 4 Housewives on right now. And I'm reviewing 3 of them. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Married to Medicine because they come on after Potomac, which means I would have to do 2 reviews. I'll watch it and just enjoy it. But I will have my review for Potomac Monday and going forward. I will have a review of The Housewife out the day after it airs. So for Potomac, I will do my review on Mondays. Beverly Hills, I will do my review on Wednesdays. And Salt Lake City on Thursdays going forward. That's the goal. Let's see if we can do it, guys. But thank you for watching. I really did enjoy this episode. The funniest part to me was the last comment when Mary with them bangs and when Angie was like, excuse me, I'm sorry. Like, you drink, you're doing 3 guys, and you claim to be a total Mormon. Girl, bye. But anyway, guys, check me out in the next one. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.